Check this.
What's up guys, it's the Top Dog back in another video, and welcome to the 2020 Throwback series I'm starting on the channel. This series is mostly just going to be videos of me and some friends going back and playing some of the older games and seeing how they hold up now compared to when they first came out, see if anything's changed, and if it has, if it's for better or worse. Wanted to start doing this now just because we got some time until Cold War comes out, so we're going to be playing some old Call of Duties and seeing how they play now. Also want to shout out to my cousin who I'm doing this with. He has his own channel where he'll be uploading his perspective of these, so I'll leave the link for that in the description for you guys to click on that. And with all that being said, let's get into it. So the game we wanted to start off with first for this first video was Black Ops 3. And the main reason for that is because it was our favorite one. It's the one we spent the most time on and the one that was the most fun to us, honestly. And if you guys saw my video when I was ranking all the current COD games, you guys remember I had Black Ops 3 as the #1 or the top tier one. So it only made sense to start with this one for me. And to be honest, the experience was not as good as I thought it would be. And I honestly wasn't too excited to go back and play this, or at least not as much as I usually am, just because the last time I played this I finally hit level 1000 and, you know, I already had dark matter and everything, so there wasn't too much for me to really do outside of hitting level 1000, and once I hit that I kind of just stopped playing it. There wasn't really a whole lot else for me to do other than just play it normally, and so because of that I wasn't really too excited to go back to it, but I was still kind of hoping that the experience would be pretty fun, and I can tell you that it definitely was not. So to start, and this is probably the biggest problem out of all of this, is that once Black Ops 4 got its first patch, like update, BO3 got one at the same time, and in that update they pretty much nerfed like all the weapons of BO3, or at least all the good ones. And because of that, now like pretty much every gun in the game just feels so trash. We were going back and forth trying to figure out which guns we should be using because they all just felt pretty bad, especially compared to the guns in other games. The VMP is pretty much useless now. Nobody's using it anymore. Before, you know, everyone was using the VMP. Now you hardly ever see it. And you could argue that that's because, you know, most of the like better players aren't on the game anymore, but the real reason is because it got nerfed. Kuda is still kind of the same, but I've never really liked the Kuda because that gun chokes whenever I use it. And honestly, like the only good sub that's really left is the XMC, but even that got nerfed a little bit, and I don't really want to use the XMC anymore because a lot of my last Black Ops 3 videos were using that gun, and so I don't want it all to be the same weapon. You might be thinking like, oh, well, it's not a big deal, I'll just use a different gun or whatever. And that would be the case if it was just like one gun that got nerfed, like okay, I'll just find something else. But literally every gun in the game, or just about every gun in the game, is trash now. And because of that, it just made the game feel like really weird. Like there's a lot of gunfights where I'd stop shooting at someone because they would usually be dead, but they weren't, and then like I would die because I stopped shooting at them and like turned around or whatever. And it just made the gameplay feel kind of awkward, I guess. On top of that, it also seems like they mess with the servers a bit. The servers feel a lot less responsive. The bullet rate feels a lot worse too, especially for like the Kuda, or I guess mostly for the subs. A lot of your like probably your first 3 to like 5 shots just go through people, and so you end up losing a lot of gunfights because of that. And then when you mix that in with the fact that the guns got nerfed anyway, it just makes the guns feel even worse because they already don't do that much damage, and then half your bullets don't even hit the person you're shooting at, so it just made the game feel pretty bad, honestly. Coming back to this game after playing the last few games that didn't have specialists in it made me really notice how annoying the specialists can be and how they kind of just mess up like the flow of the game. Because before, like, yeah, I would die to specialists pretty often or whatever, but I kind of just accepted it and just like whatever. But now coming back to it after not dealing with it for a while, you really notice it. Like I was dying to specialists so often, and because the guns and servers and everything's messed up, you can't even kill the people with the specialists. So you're pretty much just die. Like you can't really do anything. In the player base now, even though there's a lot of people, which is actually pretty nice, there's still a lot of people on Black Ops 3. It was easier to find lobbies in this game than all the other ones that we played. But the way people are playing the game now is a lot different than it was before. I mean, sure, before you had like people using shotguns sometimes or whatever, but most people are running around with ARs or subs. And now it's like people are camping with LMGs or just like sitting in corners with it. You got people sitting in corners with shotguns. Ever since Modern Warfare came out and the 725 was like OP, there's been a lot of people in Black Ops 3 using the Olympia. And before, like, even though it was annoying, you could still counter it because the weapons were good enough to kill them fast enough. But now, because the servers and the weapons and everything is just so much worse, it's a lot harder to kill them. And so because of that, there's a lot of deaths that just feel like really stupid, honestly. But aside from those things, Black Ops 3 pretty much feels the same. Score streaks are still good, and it felt really nice to go back to a COD that actually has good score streaks, because it's been a while since we've had some pretty good ones. The maps feel way better than the maps on like Modern Warfare and Cold War. Just the fact that there isn't just random spots all over the place, there aren't just like a bunch of different boxes and stuff just placed randomly around the map. The maps actually flow well and work well with the mechanics. It doesn't take you 20 years to get around the map because you can actually move around in the game. The movement still feels nice. Wall running, flying around, sliding, running, everything feels normal. Doesn't feel super like clunky or anything. That's Black Ops 3 in 2020. The game definitely feels worse, but I still don't think that it's like horrible or anything. I probably won't end up playing it again, at least not for a while, just because there's not much for me to really do on it. That's going to be it for the video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you're still playing Black Ops 3, and if you are, also let me know what weapon you're using. And if you guys have any other old games you want us to go back and play, if we have the game already or if we can find a cheap copy, we'll be down to play some of those. So let me know if you have any suggestions on that. Also, if you guys are interested in seeing us playing these games, you can check out Ethan's past broadcasts on Twitch. I'll link that down in the description. And I'll probably start streaming it myself too, once I get everything set up for that. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.